Y'all, first and foremost, give all praise and honor and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son, Thamashiach. Some call you Yahweh, Yeshua, Yehoshua. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. Brother Feeney is here. Just another short lesson I want to share with y'all. You see here is my old Nissan Altima. And ran into some issues with it a few months ago. Really not even a few months ago. I've been having some issues for a while. Sometimes you just gotta be honest. This thing been going on for a while. You know, we sit in front of some of the people that can fix us, or even better yet, sitting in front of the Lord. Kneeling, talking down, praying, not talking down, but kneeling down, praying to the Lord. And we don't want to tell them the whole story. Nah, man, we've been having problems. This been going on for a while, Lord. Been having problems for a while. And I had been putting them off, procrastinating. Matter of fact, when I bought the car, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 years ago. After the first week, I realized there was water in the trunk. And I mean, it'll leak out of there. I don't know what's going on. It ain't too bad. And years went down and the speakers went out. I'm like, why the speakers went out? Then I realized, man, there's water in the doors. Why am I hearing waters in the doors? Then there's a little smell, like, it's water sitting in my doors, and I know it's water in the doors, but yeah. And after a while, you start living with, problems that you don't want to get. Long as I'm getting the A to B, I'm just trying to get the A to B. I end up having some issues that, again, I'm a mechanic, and I'm not just big on cars. I'm not I got to have the nice. I've been a mechanic, and the reason I became, because I always had regular cars, so I just ended up learning how to fix them. But this one, the rack and pinion went out. I did it myself the first time. The second time, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it myself. I put one of those eBay parts on there, and it gave me about 4 months. It went out again, and I just went on and said, you know what, man, I'm not getting up under that car and doing that again. I just went on and paid somebody $1,200 to fix it. And then a couple days after that, just having all these electrical problems. And I said, man, let me just send it to the dealership. I couldn't figure it out. I took the starter out a couple times, messing with fuses, for a few days. Just couldn't figure it out. I said, let me take it to the dealership. I towed it up to the dealership. Dealership had the vehicle for a few weeks. They called me. They finally called me. They were like, look, man, we gonna have to charge about $1,500 diagnostic fees just to figure this thing out. We don't even know, it's just so much going on, man. It's just so many fuses and stuff is blowing. I'm like, well, fuses blowing, what's going on? There's so much stuff is going on with this thing, man. We just, before we don't even want to do no diagnostic. We gonna have to figure this thing out, and then we may have to rewire the whole car. I'm like, rewire the car? What? And it's not dawning on me the things that I had told you prior, that this thing been holding water. So I end up just towing it away from there and say it's over with. I just went on and got another car. But the car's been sitting in the yard for a couple months. And I went to open the door, and I see it's just completely molded inside. And then it's water, it's wet all over the place. And I'm like, what? And then everything came to me. So I'm going to show y'all what I seen. Show you how filthy and disgusting this thing with this mold growing all over the place inside of the car. And you can see how that water's running down the way. It hasn't rained. That's water running down from the inside of the car. The car is basically underwater. You see the seals there? You see that more? It ain't rained. You got water. You got water leaking there. Like I said, the car is just completely underwater. And it's because the seals were no good. Seals probably no good. Probably had flood damage when I bought the car. Seals were no good. And it pretty much shorted, because everything's underwater, probably shorted out all the wiring. So the car probably does need to be completely rewired. Mechanically, everything was working, like the engine, all that stuff. But electronically, everything's done. It's fried. But it made me come to mind of the ark and how Noah was asked in Genesis 6:14. It says, "Make thee an ark of gopher wood." You see it here. "Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without." All right. Noah was told to pitch the ark, all right, to put tar, to make sure that the ark is sealed so no water gets in. And nothing can get up out of it. No water's in. Pitch it within and without. So make sure that this water, this judgment, does not get into this this vehicle, this boat. All right. And us being vessels of the Lord, us being vessels of the Lord, covered with the blood. All right. Covered with the blood, making sure that we cover ourselves with the blood of Christ. And if you look at this word pitch here, it's the word kafar in the Hebrew. It's used one time for pitch, but 71 times for atonement, 7 times for purge, reconciliation, reconcile, forgive, purge away, pacify, atonement made. Merciful, cleanse, disannul. All right, to cover, purge, make an atonement, make reconciliation, cover over with pitch. We ourselves got to make sure that we're fully covered. I got a lesson called "Are we adequate? Are you adequately covered?" And I kind of go into this Noah thing, but it just reminded me of it when I seen the car, and I just used it for a lesson. Because a lot of us, we've ignored a lot of internal problems. We've done diagnosis and did diagnostics on the outside of the vessel, looking ourselves in the mirror. But that mirror doesn't tell you what's going on internally. All right. We haven't sat down with ourselves and examined the inner workings of ourselves, the emotional state of ourselves, the spiritual state of ourselves, and to see if we are directly aligned with the word. Are we walking in the spirit? Are we filled with the spirit? Are we covered with the blood? Or are we allowing have some of the seals got loosened, and some of the leakage, some of the judgment of the world, some of the, not just the judgment, but some of the morals of the world have seeped inside of us and made us these dead supporters. That's what the inside of that car looks like, like a graveyard. Like nobody has touched that car in years. And it was time. And also a lesson about just holding on to things, man. The Lord trying to bless you, trying to give you something else, and sometimes, he just got to snatch it from you. At the end of the day, it ended up being a blessing. But, sometimes you got to go through certain things and certain trials, and those things just end up strengthening you. But again, this was just a short lesson for us to examine ourselves. to make sure that we've covered ourselves, that we've pitched ourselves, being temples of God, being vessels of the Lord, that we've made sure that there ain't no cracks in the armor. There ain't no cracks in the breastplate. There ain't no cracks in the helmet of our salvation. Ain't no cracks in the boots that we got on the full armor. It's the way, it's fully intact. Ain't no dinks in it. Ain't no jeopardizing spots where the enemy can get in and defile. Make sure that you adequately cover and don't ignore the signs. Don't ignore the problems that has been going on, that you procrastinated on, because they ain't going nowhere. And they'll end up getting worse and worse and worse. All right. So I was just a short lesson for y'all, man. I pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed. We'll see y'all on the next one. Shalom.